How does Coulson respond?
if
Manical
Oh.
laugh.
A moment, I'm just tossing something to Nalindra.
Okay. Let's give them a second so they can get caught up in the narrative here. Adam Mortician is live. D&D.
I see.
All right, I sent you a whisper via Roll20.
Yeah, okay. After making the comment to Coulson, I notice that he's not paying attention to me, and so I just kind of meander off and walk along the river, keeping my eyes on the two cavaliers down the water.
Over here.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. They are scouting. They're looking for footprints near the water. They're checking the shrubbery with their swords, poking it. They do not notice you because you are a fleet-footed high elf, and they are just moving off towards the east of the map, scouting ahead.
At some point,
All right,
depending on
ladies.
how far they go, they will find a riding horse tied up to a tree.
Oh,
Right, close enough so that it can drink from the stream.
Nalindra, you see that one of them points downstream, and then they quicken their pace. I'm just gonna move.
A horse.
off.
Nothing's more suspicious than a horse.
A horse. As they are going in that direction.
Sir Eric, a horse.
A horse. A real live horse.
What devilry is this? Some sort of transportation.
Okay, settle down. Ladies, do you have anything else to say to each other?
I
Or
don't
I might-
know at this moment. I think
what exactly, if we're going to be searching together, I need to know a little bit more about you. For example, what is your name?
Nasima.
Hello, Nasima.
And yours?
Corvus.
Ah, like the crow.
Yes, like the crow.
That sounds ominous.
In fact, I have a crow in my possession, and I'm trying to figure out.
Nasima
But it
looks at the
does.
trees around there for a crow.
I pull the crow out of my pocket and I hand it to her.
Oh,
Do you
this is the
know
kind of crow you
anything
were
about this crow? Can you tell me anything about this crow?
I don't have any arcana, but I'll try here. Probably not.
What'd you roll? What'd you roll?
A 12.
A 12? No.
I figured that's not my forte.
Yeah, it just looks like something that would have
It is a very nice statuette. That's about all I can tell you of it.
I picked it up in this place that I was a while ago with those guys over there. And I'm trying to figure out what it means.
Well,
Because I'm a crow.
The
And it's a crow.
the crow is a being of cunning, So maybe it has something to do with disguise or sneaky or observation. That's about all the help I can give you.
That's about all I thought too. So, Nasima, what kind of information do you deal in?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Information peddlers. Okay.
Mostly about the what goes on in Waterdeep.
I deal in political information.
Ah. Political information. Such as who is in the Lords of Waterdeep, or you
All
you
over.
are not all over.
I'm not from around here. I only came here to find my mother and to destroy the archive.
I didn't think it worked.
Cavaliers, they start to wander back, and they are leading a horse. Does the horse have a bridle or anything, or are you just
Yeah, it
riding
has
it
a-
bareback?
No, there's a bit in a bridle and a saddle.
Okay. So y'all notice, Nalindra and Coulson, I should say specifically, notice that the Cavaliers are bringing back a horse.
Oh, sinister.
So Eric, one of them calls out. Eric hops down the stream. Oh, that's a nice steed. He extends his hand. How friendly is your horse? I
Just
need to
bought
know
it,
anything about
so
your horse.
I just
Oh,
bought it.
okay.
So I mean
Okay.
today. I just bought it earlier
All
in
right.
the day.
That is
So-
correct. You snuck. He examines it. And he says, looks over towards Coulson, and then Coulson, he'll come over to you.
Do I
Um,
hear any of this speech of the horse?
Roll an observation check of some sort.
Perception.
Investigation, I guess. Perception.
Oh.
Thank you. No, you were deep in conversation with Corvus.
Okay.
Corvus the Curious. Sir Eric comes over to you, Coulson, and says, "Barding on this horse is nearly identical in make to our horses we picked up in Waterdeep. She's
How
following us in Waterdeep."
sinister. I think we can safely assume it belongs to the newcomer.
Yes, it seems like she's been tracking us since we left the city.
Well, I don't know what she thinks she's going to get out of doing that other than the information she's apparently after. She certainly can't take the entire party. Certainly not one of the champions, am I right?
No. But I do have to be cautious.
Yes. Yes, caution
not
is a thing.
I'm really not certain that I should bring her to Vincennes. Not
Well,
knowing her origin.
she does appear to have a relationship with the other relative newcomer, so I suppose as long as he would vouch for her, then we'd be fine. And if not, well, then we'd probably just best send her on her way with her horse. So, yeah, if If that's attended to, then I think we're well enough attended. I certainly don't think she's going to pull any funny business with all of us here.
So you're gonna vouch for her then? Watch over her, make sure.
No,
she doesn't
no, I'm
continue.
saying that the party member
Funny
that's
business?
actually been talking to her is the one that should be vouching for her. I'm still very much on the fence.
All right, well, let's just ask her, I suppose. He starts wandering around the brush.
Good plan. You do that.
Nasima, you hear Eric and two of these cavaliers coming up, and they are bringing your horse towards you. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm sorry to
Ma'am?
interrupt.
Wow, okay. Don't think I've been
This is your-
called that recently. Ah, you found my horse. Not that she was lost.
So I just have a question. Why were you following us?
I needed to find this fine young gentleman here.
One of his
She's a
eyebrows
friend.
raised.
She's a friend.
You know her?
We have some history in common. We're in the same business.
Oh yeah. He puts his fists on his hips. And just exactly what business is that, if I may ask?
The information business.
What is that supposed to mean? What, are you with the CIA or something?
The what?
Oh,
Never heard of
mind.
that organization.
Oh, yeah, it's, he seems a little bit abashed. He scratches his temple and says, don't worry about it. So,
I am
since the
not
two of you-
aligned with any organization. I deal in information on my own.
Sounds like the CIA to me. He looks around at his cavaliers as if they are picking up what he's putting down, and they just look at him quizzically. Oh, why do I even bother? Says, look, when it comes dawn, we're heading out of here, and where exactly are you going? Where exactly are you off to? Because when the sun comes up, you should probably start heading that direction.
I pull
Nasima
out
looks
the
to
finger
looks to Corvus as she has no idea where he's heading.
I pull out the finger from my pocket and I say,
Yeah.
I'm looking for the owner of this finger.
I would imagine that the owner of that finger is looking for that finger. That looks fresh.
And they will be happy to see me.
Corvus, you see that Coulson is over here by the rest of the group that are asleep.
Nasima will step forward and take the reins if offered for the horse. And then
He steps aside to give you the horse.
she pets it.
All right, well, you better get some shut eye. Better get some shut eye if that's what you. Looks like you quizzically, never having seen your kind before. Says if that's something you need, of course. Actually,
I mean, we all could use with sleep except your elvish friend.
I would suggest that you kind of meander over there to the rest of the group. You know, keep close, just in case anyone followed you. No one was following you, were they? He
No,
squints at you.
no.
And you followed us from Waterdeep, right? Don't deny it. I'm
I
pretty
wasn't
smart. I
about to
figured it out.
deny it. Why would I deny it?
Yeah. He says as he's sizing you up.
I did notice that you had a little bit of an interaction with an interesting creature in the stream earlier.
Yeah. That was odd.
Now, dear, you can't possibly think you're going to start pumping us for information when we've just met you.
A little closer, Colson.
I was
So what?
just commenting on the interesting aspect.
It is interesting. A great many interesting things have happened, not the least of which was you. However, I
I'm
think
not
we've
very-
established that you're not a threat, or are not enough of a threat to threaten the entire camp. And I think we're all very tired and would like to get some rest. So, if young Master Corvus will vouch for you, then you could remain with us. And if not, then it is probably best you were on your way.
She should stay with us.
Are they aiding in your search?
They're protecting me as I search.
They are hired by you?
No. I don't know the area. I never left my house before my mother was kidnapped. And so I need protection.
Oh, I was unaware that it was such a recent occurrence that this happened.
I set out to find my mother once the archive abandoned her.
May I ask how long ago that happened?
About 2 months ago.
Ah,
And I've been making my plans to destroy the archive while I find my mother.
is anyone else taking any interest in this conversation, since I've partially heard this
Yeah.
before? But
Yeah, Sir Eric is peeking around at Corvus. He seems to be attempting to have thoughts.
clearing his throat?
No, that was no. He's paying close attention though.
He's just really bad at not showing it.
Yes, pretty much. He's having. You can see just the look on his face. You can definitely see that he is he's basically going through his little Rolodex of
What's a Rolodex?
exactly.
Honestly, I thought he would have grown up a bit. I don't know how I feel. He's basically the same guy.
Some people
Like, I
are
really
resistant
had some
to
hopes for him.
Anywho,
I will start to lead my horse, I guess, to where the other horses are being picketed,
okay.
which is where would imagine it's somewhere close to the water. So
Mhm.
I will excuse myself as I wandered by Coulson.
All right. Sir Eric will come up to you, Corvus, and he's watching Nasima walk away. So I couldn't help but overhear a good part of your story regarding, those groups that you mentioned.
Yeah?
Do you happen to know
What about
a fellow
'em?
Do you happen to know a fellow by the name of Black Bucket?
Black Bucket?
Yeah. Yeah, Black Bucket. Kind of a short fella. He holds his hand up to just above his rib cage.
I've
Kinda
heard of
swarthy.
Black Bucket.
Well, just to give you a heads up, he's heard of you as well. And I didn't. Well, when I came across him about a week or so ago, didn't really like the cut of his jib, if you know what I mean. You don't know what he
What
means.
do you know about Black Bucket?
But what I do know about Black Bucket is that he was asking a lot about someone who matches your description now that I think of it. And it's all starting to make sense. He was definitely looking for you. So maybe, and he looks over at Coulson, maybe you should tell us what you know about Black Bucket.
All I
This
know
is new
about
to
Black
me.
Bucket. Is Eric looking at me or at Coulson?
He's looking at you.
Black Bucket.
Yes.
All I know
Black
about
Bucket.
Black Bucket. Black
Great
Bucket
name,
works for
though.
the Crimson Circle. Black Bucket deals in information. Black
Oh,
Bucket.
just like you. He points at
Just
you.
like you.
So you have some sort of information conflict, I'm guessing?
Black
I'm guessing you're
Bucket
not on the
is
same
not-
team.
does not work for a good organization.
Well, yeah, just who does he work for then?
He works for the Crimson Circle.
Well, you actually, you should probably better stick with us. Come with us to Etruria. I might be able to hide you for a little bit because he seemed hard pressed in finding you. Specifically you. You might need some friends.
I appreciate the offer. I will stick around.
Let's hop
I
over
don't
to
want to
Lynn.
run into Black Bucket.
No, you don't.
I am not looking for Black Bucket.
He gestures for you to walk over to where the rest of the camp is situated. Nalindra, can we hop over to you? What are you up to?
Right now I'm kind of just sitting here.
Okay. That's fine. All right, so
Sorry, I have
about
not a whole lot of motivation today.
it's okay. I know it's hard when you're not feeling very well. Things are gonna pick up here in just a second. You have about 2 hours until dawn. 2 hours until that protection spell dissipates. Is there anything that you wish to do besides maybe get some more rest?
I guess we only get a short rest then.
Oh, were we at this long enough to get a long rest before things went wonky?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be fine. Yeah, you should be fine. Okay. So I would venture to say that y'all just hunker down and relax, spend the rest of the few hours that you can resting. Dawn comes. The birds begin chirping around you. The light touches the treetops as the sun rises. And you get ready to set out.
Do 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 do.
We're gonna hop over to right. Yeah. You have a nice little caravan coming down the road, down this road here. I did put some horse and wagon over here if you needed to play with that.
Can't control my token again.
I know, it's a new map. Just gonna widen this out just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Tokens. Back to it. I'm gonna put you up in here, up in this area.
Can we? Did we get one horse, or do we have a team doing this?
You had multiple horses.
You
All
had
the
two-
Cavaliers had horses.
And then you guys had 2 mules, I believe, pulling your.
I mean, that makes sense. The mules are way cheaper.
I think that's what you bought. You bought 2 mules and a wagon. Oh, yeah, full wagon, not a.
Like owning a reasonably sized pickup truck as opposed to, you know, a Maserati.
All right, everybody who isn't here tonight, I am going to place where I want them to be. And you can place yourself on the road where you would like for yourself to be. As the rest of them are.
Can you move the cart 2 back?
Yes. I need to give her permission to move her token.
Anyone who would observe would notice that Nasima can handle the horse very easily. So it wouldn't be the first time that she has ridden. And Corvus, who is in the wagon? Corvus, Nalindra, Coulson, Onan, like all the PCs, right?
If you want to be in the wagon, you can put yourself in the wagon. Otherwise, I have these 4 NPCs back here bringing up the rear.
Oh, so they're walking.
You have, yeah, they're walking.
I think
they're
as
on
many
their
of
own.
us as is reasonable would be in the wagon, because that was the entire point of getting it.
Yeah,
I'm damn sure not hoofing it all the way when everybody else is on horseback. That's not happening.
So you can. Okay. Anywho, You're not
Can you,
necessarily underneath the
Put the
wagon.
wagon behind the token.
I was trying to back. There we go.
There we go.
Nice. Okay, so you've been traveling for a few hours, so it's roughly 9-ish, 10-ish, something like that. You're coming down the road.
Those coconuts are getting that workout.
Can I get? Well, actually, since I'm in the lead, technically, what I will do.
Oh, just for anybody else who's noticing, if anybody's cared to look at Nasima, she has a backpack, but she appears to be carrying, like she's not carrying any, there's no weapons on the outside of her backpack. She's not carrying any weapons with her person. So a backpack, but no weapons.
In that tracks, you need to have your hands free for the coconuts.
Mm-hmm. As you're coming up to this little T junction here, Sir Eric calls out and he says, "Campsite ahead." He points off in this direction. And you do notice that it looks like there is an area right here, right on the bend, where somebody had made a campfire. You see rocks forming a circle. You see a burnt patch in the ground. Might be a pit there, you're not sure. But it was definitely a camp of some sort.
Wouldn't be entirely surprising.
This elevates a little bit. As you can see, there's a little ridge here, and then there's another ridge here. So this section is
Are we at the bottom of a hill then?
It's not necessarily a hill, it's just a sudden rise in the land. So
Right, but
this
the
level,
road would be going up some sort of incline situation.
yeah, slightly. Yeah,
So,
as you get
a
closer
hill.
to the bottom of the map here.
The definition of a hill.
The definition of a hill. So this is about 10 feet above you. This is about 20 feet above you.
Alrighty.
Eric suggests that maybe you all stop for a second. Since there is a rise. And he's going to send his cavaliers to scout ahead just to make sure that there's nothing hiding and waiting for you.
Are you expecting trouble?
I'm just trying to be cautious, he says.
Nasima
Special.
veers off a little
Considering
to the right behind the tree, this copse of trees here. Not her horse.
Considering that you are very special cargo, he says.
I mean, I dig special. We're not fragile.
Oh, I know you can definitely take care of yourself. I've seen it. But I need to get you to Duke Vincennes in one piece, for sure. All right, Nasima, do you want to roll anything for scouting purposes?
I'm just going out. So you might need stealth with my horse, just to sort of keep out of sight in the tree line here. Stealth. What do we
Got
want?
you. I got you. Whatever you are aiming to do. Yeah. There you go. That's fine.
Oh, that doesn't have a range. That's interesting.
Anyone else have any actions they want to take as we...
I
Explore
do,
this
sending
area?
you a whisper.
You sent me a whisper.
No, I'm about to send you a whisper.
Oh,
Oops.
I stay in the wagon.
I am going to say that you have spent time with that statuette as you've been rolling. And you have become attuned with it, and you know what it does. By the by.
Hey, thank you.
Gotcha. 10-4, Coulson. 10-4.
Good times. Woohoo. Go team.
So the Cavaliers are checking out the campsite. And then, after a few moments of kicking around there and just kind of looking around the area, they start to wander back. Actually, my bad. These guys stay here. These guys start to move back. And as they get right about here, there's a sudden kerfuffle up here. Shouts of surprise and pain, actually. Ow! Ow! Get it off! Get it off! You hear. And they are running through the brush, running around, swiping
So they got
Over
off
here.
their horses, or
around them. Yeah. They are off their horses. This one comes bustling down the hill, falls down the ridge into the road. And Coulson, you're close enough that you can see that there's definitely something flying around him rapidly, much like the size of a hummingbird. Several hummingbirds, if you will.
Are
These
they
two guys
little
are
red
running
things
around.
with pointy noses?
Yes,
Yes.
yes they are. And
Shuffle that card and deal them.
so
I have a range of 120 feet, so I'm just going to start plugging.
you can tell that they're sturges.
Are you using them
Harassment.
singularly or as a swarm?
This is a swarm.
Oh hell.
Yep.
That's not great. I did that to a party of mine and it was way too mean, but they were also much lower level.
And let's see. So there's a swarm here. Swarm here. Swarm here.
Oh great. Well, we're just doing this.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
What are we blowing up?
We're blowing up some really angry mosquitoes.
Oh boy.
That's actually what I used them for, was mutant mosquitoes in my apocalypse game.
Oh, yeah. So they're about
They
the
were-
size.
They were great.
Olsen, do you want to describe them for the group since you saw them first?
Let's see. I have to get past the Sol Besh description, which is a giant mutant mosquito. These are like little leather bat things with pointy, stabby noses that are notorious for drinking blood.
Delicious.
Are they feathery? I always thought they were leathery.
They're
They're
a little bit of both.
insectish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Main thing is they want to suck your blood.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
very
basically
ferocious.
vampiric.
Oh, great, more.
And they're awful. Just awful.
I am way back in the wagon.
So yeah, I will target this this batch of them right here, and I am at least 90% certain that energy attacks should be fully effective against them.
Okay. The image. Oops. The thing. Oh, that sucked. I don't want to do that. Okay, moving on. Oh. You want to hit that batch.
This one over here,
Radius.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's not a
What's the
radius. It's single target stuff, but it is force damage.
Rightio. So they are swinging their swords uselessly. The Sturge swarm around them. And then you hit them with that Eldritch Blast. Nasima has dismounted from her horse. What do the other two of you do? Stay in the wagon?
I'm in the
Hang
wagon.
out? Elendra?
She's having a nap.
I hear all the ruckus, and I get out and draw my bow and follow not so closely behind Coulson to see what is happening. I think this is me. Yeah, that's me.
He has shuffled his cards, Delta Blast, as you walk up behind him. Cavaliers are thoroughly frantic, slightly enraged. What do you
Doesn't
do,
look like a
Cavaliers,
chicken.
if anything?
Coulson, what are those things?
Extremely bad news. Drop them.
Okay. Oh, let's see here.
All right, if you want to try to hit them, go for it.
It's going to be an absolute mess if they get to the horses.
Let's see here. So I'm gonna come up next to Coulson, and I'm gonna focus on this chicken right here. I can't click on one?
This one right here.
Nope. The other one. Can I see
This
that?
one right here.
Can I see that one? Is this a tree? I don't know what's happening.
You should be able to see that one.
No.
It's in the middle of the road.
Okay.
And by the way, these aren't singular. These are just indicates that there is a swarm in this area. Just a quick count with your elven eyes. You can probably see there's anywhere between 5 and 8 in each little grouping.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is going to be a mess.
Okay, go for it.
Let's-
You're intent on attempting to feed on these cavaliers.
Let's just see what happens when I just throw. I'm just going to throw this arrow in there and see what happens.
Nice shot.
Skewer them like chickens.
You were quite pleased with yourself because you actually drop one right out of midair. You see your arrow fall to the ground and something twitching at the end point, halfway up the shaft.
I bet you I could do that again.
The cavaliers start
That's-
to fall back, which actually brings the swarm closer.
I mean, that's to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Maybe.
But in
You can
Coulson's
see
Coulson's blast of cards took some of them out. I'm imagining.
a few of them fell to the dirt. There some also embedded in each cavalier and just sucking their blood.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a thing.
And they're screaming in pain. Ah, get off! Some of them drop their swords and try to jerk the scourge out of their flesh, and you see a spurt of blood.
That's why these things are such great monsters. Like, I hate fighting them, but I love using them.
Eric rushes forward. He only has his shield. He doesn't. I have mentioned before. He only carries a shield. He does not carry a sword.
Yeah, I admit I have been curious about that.
He does not carry a sword. Just a shield.
Yep.
He says, "Stay behind me." To you, Valindra and Coulson.
I totally do not cock an eyebrow in disbelief of that statement. Nope. No eyebrow
Anyone
cocking happening here. My eyebrow is totally cocked in disbelief of that statement. I just don't want him to see it.
Gotcha. Okay, the three of you go.
I've gone. Alindra's gone. If the monk is throwing hands, she hasn't.
No, because
Seema.
the monk has, I mean, daggers, but to get too close, so no.
Okay, so you're just sneaking up.
I'm just still in the bushes here, watching and seeing if anything is
You
required.
are watching. You are watching as this fella peels off, and he runs face first into this little cliff here, and falls flat on his back, prone. And you can see 2 or 3 sturges just slurping at his neck, and he is
God.
starting to go still. Eric rushes over to him to try to aid.
Well, I will step forward at least a foot so I can get within 20 feet. And I will try to toss a dagger into one of the ones that are
Hmm.
sucking on him.
Mm-hmm. Go for it. Bee! Just. Okay. So yeah, you get close enough and you just... You manage to at least knock one to the ground. You do not impale it. with your dagger, but you knock it
Okay, and
down to the ground. Your dagger falls to the ground.
I will do a second.
That one you definitely take down, and it is impaled on your dagger. Sticks in the ground. There's a little blood spot there. It looked like it was quite engorged with blood. It splatters there on the ground.
So
underneath your knife.
were there two of them on that guy, and now one of them is down, and the other one is flailing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Eric looks forward and reaches down, and he reaches down to rip that one out of his cavalier's neck, and then he stops, pauses for a second, as that cavalier goes still, staring up into the sky. Eric looks horrified, just as this swarm focuses on Eric. Or a portion of that swarm focuses on Eric. This guy here runs into the brush. You lose sight of him. He's still flailing around. Coulson and Nalindra.
Going to move myself up to here against my better judgment. Send a fresh hand to the swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Drop a whole bunch more love on top of them.
Which swarm?
The one I had before, so I'm pretty sure I'm focusing on this one.
Okay. During that round, you managed, it looks like, to either dissipate or decimate them.
Good. And then, seeing that one of the
much-
Cavaliers is on the ground, I should be within range. I will drop a healing word
This
on
one
him
is- Oh, thank you.
for 9. Is that
This
max?
fellow over here.
Oh, that max. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll drop 9 hit points on him to help him recover.
But he still has one that was still on him?
Yeah.
Well, at least now he won't be making death saves, although that might not help him last much longer. Need to get that one off of him.
So Nalindra is next.
That'll be me.
Okay. This fella, he has dropped his sword and he's rushing away. And he is quite relieved that it seems like he's knocked off Sturges, or at least dodged them.
I
He's trying to
literally
catch his
look at him
breath.
go by like, seriously?
He's trying to catch his breath. These guys over here are in a heap of trouble, for sure.
Yeah, they're my next point of interest.
Yes.
Wait,
Okay, Nalindra.
did we lose a Cavalier?
I'm pretty sure I saw him run off into a bush. Something somewhere.
Over here.
Okay,
he's
well,
over here
his-
somewhere.
His token is surprisingly not present, so is
He's in the
he just
trees.
out of sight at the moment?
He's
Yeah, he's
hiding.
outside. Rushed
Don't
into the
make
trees.
me throw a fireball, man. I will throw a fireball.
He's roughly in this vicinity.
Okay.
Roughly.
Like, I will go scorched earth if I have to.
You said these guys were in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step closer to Coulson to get a better view, and I'm gonna send an arrow flying into the beyond over here.
I suppose Onan should rush forward in attempts to help this fellow.
He's still sleeping.
Wake up!
And to save grace, I'm just gonna throw a second arrow at the same time. Well then. I'm just real privy to myself today.
Look at you. Weep, weep.
Taking out all the
Which ones
skeeters.
were you hitting?
These guys down here. This
One
guy.
of the ones that were in trouble. Got
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Oh, They're very thankful. They come scurrying down the little bluff there, falling all over themselves. And you do manage to finish that little batch off.
I will rush towards the cavalier that's on the ground and picking up the dagger that pierced one of them. I'll just shake it so that the scourge flies off, and I'll take it and I'll just stab down onto the one that's on the.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, so Eric, he's like, if I pull it out, it's just gonna rip his jugular apart. As you rush up with your dagger, and you stab through the scourge. It busts open with the cavalier's blood. You can clearly tell that the cavalier is going into shock. Onin rushes forward and does his gree, his magic. He starts praying to the gods. Heal this man. Lays on hands, that sort of thing. Olsen, taking a quick gander off into this tree area here, you see this poor fella. Oh, he's gone still and motionless.
Ye gods.
And he's
Are these ones still flying, or they're not?
they are not.
Okay, so those.
He's got a few stuck in his neck, one deep into his eyeball.
Oh.
He's still. He is still. Still.
All right. Well, if the Sturges are still kicking, I will blast them off.
Okay.
Is he like straight up unrecoverable dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got him good.
That's your call to make, but I was going to like toss a healing word at him if I thought he was going to get back up. I mean, he would have a cool eye patch thing going, but I mean, if that thing's already in his brainstem, I can't help that.
I mean, it looks like that Sturge is like really into that eye socket.
That's
so
great.
disgusting.
That is just wonderful. So, yeah, okay. I really only have magical first aid. That's like my whole shtick, so.
Okay. Oof. Well, that was grisly. The rest of the group comes rushing forward.
I'll call Onin over. Still blast off the remainder of the critters just to make sure that nobody gets any silly ideas.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I'll call Onin over and tell him that it's probably about time for some last rites.
You gods. Oh, that poor soul.
I should probably
I think Eric's going to
wave
take
Sir
this.
Eric over because I'm sure he'll want to know that one of his people went down. I'm sure he'll handle it well.
Uh-huh. Eric comes over. Once this guy is stabilized, which he is. Do that? Sturge guts. Okay. This guy is going to be fine. He's a bit shaken up. Yeah, and you spent some time dealing with this poor soul that has fallen. And he calls to Corvus to bring the wagon closer, and yeah, I'm just gonna have to take his body back.
Does he have a cloak or something we can wrap him in?
Yeah, they wear capes,
Okay.
red capes.
Oh yeah, that's his
give me a
thing, isn't it?
perception check.
Are they
Red and gold.
all basically dressed like him?
Yeah.
You smart bastard. Of course they are.
Give me a perception check from Any of y'all, whoever wants it. We'll go with Nasima. Nasima, actually.
One. Oh,
Colson. Colson works too. Colson, you've dealt with Sturges before, I would imagine. Usually, there's a reason for them to hang around, which piques your interest.
Aren't they usually like underground critters?
Yeah.
Oh, hell. So presumably somewhere around here there's a cave.
We could shorthand it and say that I'm going to move you. You check this place out over here. Anybody who wants to join him up there can definitely move your token. But you do find a underground little hive, if you will, up in here. And you can hear more of them fluttering around underground.
Does it sound like it's getting louder?
No.
Does it feel like the cave is roughly the size of this hill?
Yeah.
where in the
That is
hole?
when you notice. That is when you notice Coulson as you're contemplating. Let's move this right here. You see right here what looks to be bones.
Oh,
Bones of
this is the
sorts.
thing. I don't like this at all.
Upon further investigation, they've clearly been picked clean. There are bits and scraps of garment here and there. There's even there's like a dagger lying in the grass. There's a few coin tossed about. But you may think, wow, these Sturges made a quick meal of these fellows, but since you did have such a high perception roll, you don't think the Sturges did this. And this actually looks, judging by the blood in the grass around this group of bones, that this was fairly recent, maybe in the past day or so.
You mean like these were the guys that were at the campsite and something came along and ate them?
You may perceive what you wish.
Right. Is this like an indication that something big like went through these guys, or is this an indication more like something small and swarmy like just came over them and finished the job?
I think you might need some help determining that situation.
Yeah. Whistling seems like a terrible idea at the moment. So I'm going to use minor illusion, and I'm going to just put up a little sign that says, "Come up here, but be quiet."
Doesn't seem like anyone's approaching.
No, it does not.
Well, Nasima is moving, but not directly
Uh-huh.
there. She looks like she's going around the outside of this thing, heading towards
Okay.
where they were looking at this fire.
Looking at your perception check, this fire pit looks like it was probably active maybe 2 or 3 days ago. You notice that there's a lot of the grass is pressed down where there are people bedded down, possibly. You see sleeping bags or the remnants thereof that have been torn asunder and spread about.
Does it?
Fine.
How much does it look like there were a big group of people or a smaller group?
indeterminable. A lot of the material that's here, clothing, backpacks, and such, what's left of it has been ripped apart and strewn about.
I get out of the wagon. Come down to Colson. Those are bones.
Wow, that was a good perception.
They are human bones. And looking closer, Corvus, you begin to realize that you are noticing bite marks on the bones, as if these poor people were just devoured by something or some things.
Are we looking at a big
Start to look
something or a bunch
around.
of little somethings? This is the part I'm kind of curious about.
Corvus starts to notice footprints all around the area, and they are not human footprints. They are much larger. Corvus, you notice that. Give me a.
Nature.
What do I want? Nature. Thank you. Nature. Roll. Some sort of beast, for sure. Could be a bear. Quite possibly.
I think we should get out of here. This animal might still be around, might be living in that cave.
No, that animal is definitely not living in that cave.
How can you be so sure?
Because the thing that is squeaking inside that cave is not the thing that ate these guys.
Well, I don't want to be eaten. That's like not my agenda.
Do any of the things on the ground here, the weapons or anything, look like they're worth taking, or are they in good shape? Like, are there any daggers or anything?
Give me an insight check. Is there an insight in this game?
There is.
Investigation, insight,
Thank you.
insight.
Looks like they were lowly travelers. Not very wealthy whatsoever. Just very basic traveling material. They don't seem like they were adventurers at all, just passing through. It's very florid speech there, Coulson.
It's on a little sign, little neon sign.
Can't say it is. We did pass through here last week. No, we didn't. These definitely weren't here. He's indicating the bones. Oh my gosh.
So I motioned for him to be quiet, and I point at the cave with all of the squeaking coming out of it.
His
And I
eyes
like
go wide, and he starts.
kind of go over to him as like, so like, is this area your master's responsibility? Are we on his turf right now?
Oh no, not at all.
Okay.
A little bit of ways away.
Do we know whose turf this is?
He shakes his head no.
Okay. I fireball the cave.
There is a great cacophony of screeches and
Like,
screams from inside
Fire
the
in the
cave.
hole! And then I just point right in there, and it's like, we're done with this shit.
All right. Moving on.
And then I ask the big guy to put a rock in front of the cave just so I don't have to deal with this nonsense again. Because I'm sure the big guy is around here somewhere.
He's on the wagon. Or no, he was walking behind.
I'm sure he's here in spirit, and he's certainly here in spirit enough to pick up a big old spiritual rock and put it in front of the damn cave. So anyway, now that that moment of unnecessary violence has been attended to,
Mm-hmm. Later that evening, as you have moved on, you make a camp.
ooh, sparkly.
Let's take away one of these guys. Bloop.
The good die young.
Yeah. And I'll have to drag the horse and carriage over. However, you're coming along this little path here. It's starting to get... It's moving on towards evening. Enough that you can... You see here, there's a wheelbarrow. A wheelbarrow. And yeah, you can see lightning bugs, fireflies over here in the shadows amongst the trees as they are beginning to emerge.
Is it safe to assume we've had a short rest since the engagement?
I will allow that you took a short rest after fireballing the hive.
Okay.
As indicated by the jaunty banjo music.
Oh, it's occupied, you say?
If you happen to be listening. What's occupied?
It's very nice music.
Okay.
So I will
Grab that.
look at Sir Eric with a look of expectation like, so how do you want to do this? In that way that I am totally taking him seriously.
I suppose we should settle in and camp here, at least for a little bit longer, or at least for most of the evening before we move on.
Did you just say
Should
we
be
heard
back
banjo
soon.
music?
No,
Dueling
I was just-
banjos?
no. I was
Deliverance
just making
music?
a above table comment about the banjo music
Oh, okay.
that I'm listening to. Yeah. You
Oh,
may not.
you're listening to banjo music. Okay. Okay. Everything's cool.
Everything's cool. No.
I didn't want to like intrude on somebody else's campsite because that would be rude.
No. I bet. Wheelbarrow right here. Boop, boop, boop. Cavaliers are gonna scout it.
I will be here to provide fire support if something goes horribly awry. Like another bunch of
Speaking of things
fucking
going,
Sturgis shows up.
speaking of things going, not necessarily awry, but
Damn it.
as you approach this area,
You just had to say something.
did you want to say something?
No. I said
Okay.
Colson just had to say something.
Coulson doesn't see it, but your little group, you notice that this cavalier is scouting up ahead, and then he stops and he starts backing away. This cavalier is hiding behind this rock. Coulson, as you approach the wheelbarrow, and this cavalier is gazing at the fireflies. Coulson, you notice that there's a figure amongst the fireflies, and you hear a
Boys, cackling to ourselves. Oh, pretty little things. Did you get in my jar? Come on, little things. Come on, get in there. It's going to be totally fine. You are absolutely going to do this safely. Just come back with me.
there is a hag in the shadows, and she has this large jar, and she's scooping these fireflies out of the air and putting them in this jar in her hand.
So I'm gonna do that minor illusion thing again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put up a sign about 30 feet away from me that's facing Sir Eric. And be like, we need to be somewhere else.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm
Comes
gonna just
tiptoeing forward. Yeah.
and I will just sort of post up and be in a position to like do something if things go horribly awry. But if Sir
Okay.
Eric is as I am face palming, if Sir Eric is walking up here to be like, I'm gonna figure out what's going on here,
What's
Then-
going on?
then I'll be like doing a little thumb thing towards the hag and be like, yeah, we don't want to be here.
Can I have someone roll stealth, please?
And this is the part where we all died. Actually, a hag shouldn't be too much trouble.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
I
Good
could
job.
also cast Pass
So-
without a trace if you want to really go Pass quietly.
Okay. Rolling for the group. Well, thank you, Kate. I'll take that as a bonus for Madam. As a group, for the moment, the hag has not noticed your party. She is quite busy gathering these fireflies. However, can I please get from Melindra, with your elven ears, give me a insight check. An insight check.
Sure. Oh, I didn't mean to click. It didn't click the first time, so I clicked it the second time. I like the
I'll
first
take
one
the
better.
first one. The first one's better.
You start to hear little tiny voices, and they're screeching out, and they seem to be in distress.
Oh no.
They are not firefly.
No, they're little fairies.
Get in there, you little creature. Oh, it's so tasty. Smash it, smash it, smash it. We can make a fine jam. Just stay away from us.
I can't move again.
Help us. Help me.
Hey,
Gotcha.
Colson. You're not going to believe this.
Crybaby.
There's little tiny voices that hurt screaming for help. My guess is that we should probably see what's going on.
Oh no.
Yeah. And with that, I'm going to sneak by this wheelbarrow and try to see if I can see what's going on.
And I am going to tie my horse up here, and I'm going to head up over top of this down tree here, moving stealthy.
Okay. Orvis, what about you?
What did you say?
I said Corvus. What about you?
I am in the wagon.
Oh, so you're down here.
You're under the wagon.
Hiding under the wagon.
There you go. So let's see. You're trying to stealth, eh?
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
climbing up. I'm just seeing how I'm moving. I'm climbing over this down tree somewhat quietly.
Ah. You, Seema, as you're climbing up over the tree, you feel a chill go through your very body as you notice the top of this tree trunk here of a tree that probably is the stump of the tree that you are standing upon. You notice a troll. squatting there. And it's watching the hag.
I turn to the others and make hand signals, and then remember, shit, they don't know the hand.
And I look at her, and she looks at me, and I look at her, and she looks at me.
Can I get an insight check from you, Nasima?
Oh, that's great.
That's wonderful.
That one.
Yeah, so the troll is atop that stump, looking down at the hag, scratching its back, just hunched over there. Every now and then, a firefly, quote unquote, will come near it and it'll swipe at it, but miss. And it looks like a few of the fireflies are actually attempting to, I guess, attack it. They seem to be swarming around it, the troll. And he's swatting at them.
I will continue to move here. Move down the tree trunk and back onto the ground.
Oh, for that I will need another stealth check, please.
Oh wow, I'm great tonight.
Oh my
Two.
goodness.
Now one's in a row. Two now.
Your foot slips. Your foot slips on the moss growing upon the tree trunk, and you fall to the ground roughly. This draws the attention of the troll.
Good lord.
And he leaps, drawing the attention of the hag.
What is it, dearie?
Good. Turn your back to the group. Yeah.
Give me an initiative, Nasima. My initiative be 5. Okay, you go first.
Well, let's see.
Which, it runs you to be the same. It predates me. And one of the other employees was like, what do you mean it predates you? I'm like, I've been working.
I will, while I'm on the ground here, I will throw a dagger at the troll.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, sorry.
And then I will
that's a good thing because that was here before.
run this way and then run this way. And I have 50 movement, so I probably should be able to get up here.
And they're like,
Thunk! That dagger sinks into its chest. It cries out, "Mother!" The rest of you hear this.
that was so funny.
And
But now write all the information down, write down what your son said, what your
Yes.
I will. I will run at it.
Oh my.
And let's see.
the time and how much it
I am going to use.
So brave.
I'm going to use.
but
There's that
if you did a full
sheet. I'll use this.
I don't know if you're a fox
I'll use the punch and grab.
you have
So I'm going to hit it with an unarmed strike.
Old punch and grab.
okay, well, the last one.
Maybe.
So if it did it an hour
Let me
before
check.
you went for your walk.
Does that hit him?
An hour before and how much it was.
You attempt your unarmed strike,
Not much,
and it just
but the trigger level
swipes clumsily at you, knocking you back a few feet.
Okay.
blood pressure.
And then I will,
Your question?
as a bonus action, I will use my
Downhill
martial arts to do another unarmed strike.
But you felt like while you were on the block, trigger level right was what you did.
That should-
And then when you
You make contact. Can you just describe your blow for us?
Basically, I'm going to try to kick at its knee.
You hear that knee, you feel it crack under your heel, and it retreats backwards away from you. Mother! It kicked me! It says. The hag notices you, of course, and she starts to rush forward, dropping her jar.
You can see my hair
Shatters up.
is floating up.
when I buy shops, it seems like they're always right.
Ooh. The jar, which is some sort of ceramic, crashes to the ground.
You're looking at
And all the fairies get out,
And-
or sprites, or whatever they.
All of the,
but where you look-
whatever they are, these little creatures,
put a
they
finger under
emerge
your leg,
from the
and,
debris,
put your finger
and
somewhere on there.
they take this opportunity to actually swarm the hag, and she starts swiping at the onslaught of tiny creatures. Group. Olsen?
So, I was going to say something in Sylvan, but I don't speak Sylvan. I speak Celestial. So,
Mhm.
that is not going to work the way I was hoping it would. I will take a moment and I will use major image. Oops. Okay, I don't know why you need me to do that. There we go. I will use major image.
Oh my.
And I will create an illusion. I think I have range. Yeah. I will create an illusion around the monk that is basically like her, but she suddenly does this whole big, like lesser god explodey thing where it's all like Super Saiyan 3 and she's all big and scary and 3 times her size, well, twice her size and all of that, stuff. And then I like kind of motion for her to like get the hell out of there while they're distracted so that we don't have to fight these guys because that could be a mess. So basically I'm giving her an out if they fall for the illusion. She's just all big and scary looking and divine.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
As such.
So yeah. So that is taking up like all of her space and then some. And so if she wants to run out the back, she totally can. Because it's all
Right.
bullshit.
The rest of the party, they've become privy to what has gone on in the past few seconds, and they're rushing forward. Nalendra, what do you want to do? As you are near the wheelbarrow, you will notice that there are carcasses of small animals. There are bunches of herbs tied together with thin vine. And there are also a few jars that are sealed with what looks like some sort of maybe leather with twine wrapped around it to keep it sealed. In the wheelbarrow, clearly belonging to the hag.
Are there these little glowy people in there? In those jars, or is it just
It's
random
not-
stuff?
It's not glass. You can't see through. It's ceramic. But if you touch it, if you pick them up, there is some activity in there for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna regret doing this.
Like there's a bunch of somethings in there bumping around.
Having seen what was being collected, I'm going to open the jars and release
You rip
whatever
off
is
the
inside.
leather top of one of the jars, and say and.
Sprites, fly out.
Freedom.
Yeah. These fireflies, or these little fairies or sprites, they flit out kind of slowly. The way they move around your group, it's like maybe they are a little stunned. Or maybe they had been in there for a while, so they're running out
Of oxygen.
but they start to flit about and escape into the air around you.
Oh, good.
You hear
Some tiny voices sing, "Freedom, freedom."
as they flit around. Corvus?
Horse is
You want
falling
to do anything
asleep.
on the wagon? Corvus.
Sleeping in the wagon?
This is
Yes.
sleeping in the wagon.
Sounds like Corvus needs some
Okay, so
coffee.
this is what's gonna happen. Corvus needs coffee. Corvus has had a very long day. So, back here, the hag takes notice of what's going on around her, sees that her wagon has been assailed, sees
The big like goddess, half goddess, celestial, like manifesting in front of her. That's not interesting.
well, she's backing. Oh, let me back up. She takes notice, of course, of this.
I mean, if she made her
She
save,
starts
that's fine.
backing
She
away.
made her save. I'm just curious.
No. She backs away from the celestial, rushing towards the wheelbarrow, and that's when she notices your large group, and she makes to go for the wheelbarrow, but then definitely thinks, has a second thought about it, and then starts to run this way. Herbert, run!
Because of
I
course the
know, but-
troll's name is Herbert.
It's like his name is Herbert. That's great.
He starts backing up in response to what he sees here. And he starts clambering over a tree trunk.
Is my dagger still in his chest?
It is.
Back to me. As he's going away, I will throw another dagger into his back.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire.
And then I will move out of the illusion behind this stump.
Okay. Please notate, unless you want to chase him down and finish him off, that he has rushed away with your two daggers.
Erg.
They escape.
Since I can move the illusion, I will have the big celestial thing chase the troll until it's far enough away that it's no longer a threat, or more than 120 feet, which is the range of the spell. So that.
Okay. In the wagon, you will find, to your benefit, later on down the line, if you want to mark it off, Nalindra, on your character sheet, some healing herbs. Of course, some small varmints that you can, like rabbits and squirrels and such, and possums, if you wished to add that to your ration list. Some good eats.
Some good eatings.
Some good eats. And another from that little episode, the firefly sprites, they dissipate and move off from the area. And you can make camp if you wish here. If you wish.
I mean, I'm like 90% certain the hag's going to be coming back for her wheelbarrow.
Oh, 100%. I think we should bogart it.
Like, this seems like a terrible place to camp right now.
All right, let's move on.
I will get my horse and mount up and start
What a camp in a
Moving on.
snowstorm.
Oh, were those words? What'd you say?
I don't want to camp in a snowstorm.
Oh, okay. It's not a
I
snowstorm.
think it's
Okay.
mud. I think it's mucky.
The light of the full moon shines down upon this crossroads that you are approaching.
How far away is this from the troll and hag place? Like,
Let's say you've moved on for another hour or so.
That's probably sufficient to keep us out of her hair for a while, especially since we didn't do much
Yeah.
trasher stuff.
Yeah.
I let her fireflies
Just
go.
position everybody. And I know
They were
that
screaming.
You can't move your person, so now you can move your person if you'd like.
where are we camping?
Pardon me.
This is not very.
So you're moving along here. Yeah, this isn't a really good campy type spot.
No
Well,
water.
it's
no
a
water
decent.
for the horses.
I mean, there's grass.
Sort
There
of.
wasn't water for the horses in the last place either.
This is more like scrub.
There's the river.
May I get perception check? All around.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Okay.
Womp
Okay,
womp.
so. Womp womp. Let's see, where are you positioned where you want yourself to be positioned?
Yeah, more or less.
Close enough.
Yeah, I'm assuming that I'm just close by the wagon here because all these people are wagon.
Yeah, it's probably a safe bet considering wherever Corvus is probably where the wagon is.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. How do we want to do this? First, let's change this up. I think this is what I want. Yeah. Okay.
Was that enough time to sneak in another short rest?
You've been moving,
Okay.
so I'm gonna say niet.
But if they're
Melindra.
just resting in the back of the wagon, then the wagon people should be able to get a short.
Well,
Even
if we
if the
haven't
rest
been
of us are-
traveling long enough to get like a short
Oh, yeah,
rest, because
just
I
an
assume
hour.
we'd have to have like a little, pre-game to get resettled and a little post-game once we get here to hop off. If that hasn't been an hour, then it's not going to count. So,
Mhm.
yeah, if we haven't had that kind of time, that's fine. Just means I can only throw one less fireball if I have to.
Nalindra is the first to notice this.
So,
I hear your music, don't
Followed
worry.
quickly- Followed quickly by Nasima. There is a figure at the crossroads.
Oh, great.
oh, for fuck's sake.
And he's looking in your direction
Does he look
as if he is waiting.
like an actual figure, or does he look like a ghostly figure? Or...
Should we wave? Is he friendly?
He gives you a chill for sure, and he's just staring you down.
I love when they stare me down. It's my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm automatically going to draw my arrow. Bow and arrow. I'm not going to shoot anything. 'Cause I'm not quite sure what's going to happen.
Okay.
I'll say to Corvus, slow the wagon.
You might want to find a different
that.
route.
Yeah, I kind of assumed we were stopped at this point anyway.
That guy doesn't look very.
Okay, so
I'm
Y'all-
going
y'all notice
to.
this?
But
Good. You notice that Nalindra has drawn her bow. How do you react to her drawing her bow? Anyone?
Who are
I'll
you
just-
asking?
I'll just say, because if it went Nalindra and then me, I'll just say when I noticed it, there's something in the cross.
I'm running a trade analysis on this guy.
Oh, trait analysis. At the end of your turn, if you're analyzing.
Don't you have to
feature, you can see
analyze it first? Could have run the trade analysis. You have to start an analysis
I
first,
have to start an analysis.
which is a different
Thank
thing.
you.
right?
Thank you.
Okay, so analysis. Use your intelligence to closely evaluate your foe in combat. Okay. Okay.
But I think
So you're doing that.
we have to be in combat in order for that to be working, right?
Yeah, he's just staring you down.
Why
you're
is it
doing
spicy?
That. Nalindra has drawn your bow. Nasima, what have you done?
I've dismounted and this time I'm gonna tie my horse onto the wagon. And then I'm gonna duck
You're doing that.
through this, whatever it is,
Trees.
whatever, sort of bushy, sludgy.
They're trees. Trees. Colson, what are you doing? You have moved up, it looks like.
I assume that we have come to a stop, and I hop off the cart and make my way to the front of the column and see if this guy looks like anybody I know.
Judging by Eric's reaction, he knows who this is.
Is this a friend of yours?
Eric looks ashen. All the color is drained from his face.
Not exactly a friend, I guess.
And he just he steps ahead of you and says, just stand back. Everyone, just stand back.
Dink. Okay.
I don't listen and I continue to move through the tree.
Cards are in hand.
The figure begins to move forward. As he comes into view, you notice that he's, oh my god, he's easily 7 feet tall. He has a horned, winged helmet. He's wearing various bits and pieces of armor on his body, and he's carrying this massive shield, this demon-faced horned shield, and he's just slowly step.
They use that guy.
Step
Does he
towards
have a
you.
helmet that has like no face? Like it's got the opening,
can
but there's no face.
see-
It's just like black and a couple little red dots.
It's black, and you can see
I had that
red
action
eyes.
figure.
Red eyes
That's
peering
awesome.
at you. Slow your roll there, Nasima. You're moving that far. I'll get to you. And he's not saying a word. The closer he gets, the more fiery his red eyes become. And he slowly reaches down and draws a sword. As he draws the sword, it starts to ignite with a blazing fire as it leaves the sheath. And you can hear, under the moonlight, the crackle and snap and hiss of flame erupting from the blade.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Sir Eric says, "Everyone get behind me!
I definitely
Close!
get behind him.
Close behind me!" Cavaliers
I'm over
rush forward.
here.
That's not the definition of getting behind him.
No.
I will use minor illusion
I hear-
to create a hand of like holy light that just like does the whole stop thing in front of about 10 feet in front of him, just like stop.
All right. He draws his flaming sword.
Yeah,
And it
I do like the whole
illuminates the
stop thing,
crossroads.
like right in front of him with a 5-foot tall golden hand.
He walks right through it, Coulson.
Oh, rude.
All right. Let's see. Nasima. Give me a perception check, please. As you are moving through the brush, you notice this fella here.
What is it, a lizard man?
A lizard man. He's standing in
Crikey.
the road there. He's looking in this direction. As he sees his master moving forward, he starts to rush forward. That's when you also notice. Say, there's another one here.
I go to turn back to give them hand signals and remember yet again. I've got to teach them.
Yeah, this fella
Waving
here.
at us? What do those things mean? Coffee? Cream? Is she cold?
There's always like a little bit of cold around her.
Corvus, what do you do?
I step forward, but I'm still behind Eric.
Okay. I'm gonna move you up behind Eric. His cavaliers, they charge forward with their swords drawn.
Why
raised.
on earth would he send them forward?
Because he has this weird sense of duty. Which
That's what
means,
they're supposed
let's
to
just kill all of our people.
Like, he clearly knows this guy is a massive, massive threat, but he's sending the kids
Right.
after him.
He's attempting to protect you. This cavalier needs to rush forward.
Oh, for the love of Elvis.
Actually, no, we lost him. They're easy down to 4.
No, there was 5.
No, it should be
There
5 of
was-
them. We lost
yeah.
number 6.
Yeah, we lost number 6. There should be 5.
Oh, okay. My bad. Copy. Paste. Bloop. Yeah, they are rushing forward to take him down.
Yeah,
And
that's
as they
right.
rush forward, the first one that gets there, he just bashes him with his shield. This cavalier goes flying off to the side. You notice emerging from the brush a lizard man who attacks him immediately. This cavalier rushes forward and is just immediately nearly cloven in half. Cloved? He's dead.
Gone.
Knocked to the ground.
Did Sir Eric learn any lessons today?
God damn it.
Eric. Eric, after saying, "Get behind me!" he takes his shield, slams the point of it to the ground, and a force field emerges in a 10-foot radius around him, which looks like it is going to encapsulate
Onan and Corbin.
Onan and Corvus and Eric. Because the rest of you did not say, "I get behind Eric."
Well, I wasn't going to get right behind him.
He said, "Get behind me."
I am behind him. The guy has to go through Eric to get to me. Everything works out.
It's true.
Isn't it affecting my mind, or am I just spellbound?
Let me just draw this circle here. We'll go with that. You are not affected in your mind. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, but a force field erupts around Eric. Corvus and Onan are secure behind this like purplish half globe that emerges from around you. One quick check. We are at 9 o'clock. I know that a lot of you are sleepy and sick. Do you want to continue this, or do you want to wait till next time?
I am capable of continuing if it comes up.
I'm fine.
I'm not feeling well.
Okay. And
Oh, I don't
going
mind.
to
I don't mind.
assume that Nalindra.
I mean,
All right. Let's hold off, because hopefully... I'm just going to say you're going to need some help.
oh boy.
And I would like for the... I don't want to run 4 NPCs, honestly.
I mean, that's fair.
Plus the bad,
That is fair.
plus the bad guys. So let's call it a night. But I do...
What if I just dump all my fireballs? Do we win?
There's a little thing called fire resistance.
What happens if I just shoot all of my arrows?
I'm gonna find out.
I'm on a
Blizzard
roll.
aren't fire resistant.
I got pretty good aim tonight.
You are on a roll. Yeah, you are. Okay, so yeah, we'll call it,
Yeah, that's fair.
and we'll reconvene in two weeks.
All right.
Okay.
Good times.
Thanks,
Hilariously, that will
everyone.
once again be right after a big Nerf game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Speaking of which, if you're in the northern Seattle area and are interested, it's being held at the Everett Mall. It's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Good God.
They do have loner blasters,
Yeah.
but you will need to bring your own eye
That is-
protection.
I live where the air hurts my face.
That is the 8th.
That is the 8th.
It might be possible for me.
If
I
you
will have to
if you want more information, I can throw it to you.
Okay.
Let me know later on.
I think I might be attending a thing. I'll have to check with Kate.
There's always something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that option's on the table if you're thusly inclined.
Thank you for the invite. You in person. As a human being and not a voice.
Stranger danger.
Oh, I don't know. I prefer being the voice.
I
Then you
mean,
don't
it's
have
not
to have
bad.
any illusions.
That's right. I mean, I clearly have, except for Madam, who I know what she looks like. I have in my mind space. Well, I know what Kate looks like, obviously, but what you look like. So if I ever see any of you in person, it's probably just gonna blow my mind.
You'd be like,
Alrighty.
cave troll. Cave troll.
Imposter. All right, this is a great game.
I will have a
Great
voice
evening,
for
good
next
session.
game.
Yeah.
I better have a voice for
sorry
next
you're
game.
feeling being sleepy and such and ill. So
Yeah,
get well soon.
sorry it wasn't so much fun tonight.
Good times.
Oh my God,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Have a good night.
Bye. Night.
Okay, see you later.